Hi travelers, and welcome to the first open reading for September 2018. I am using the Radiant White deck. Oh, what? Brain fart. And we'll be clarifying with the La Vida Sibilas. We're moving into fall. We're moving into winter. What's that? Winter is coming. Indeed, it is. And this is a general reading. The messages will not resonate with everyone, so please take what you can and disregard what you cannot. You want more information into your specific situation, requires a personal reading. My personal reading turnaround time is 24 to 48, sometimes 72 hours, depending on the workload. All you have to do is give me the questions, the names and the birth dates of yourself and anybody else you want to include into the reading. That helps me to pinpoint you, and then I lay the cards. I have video readings, most of them, and there are only 2 phone readings. You can go over to the website and check that out. What I'm looking at here is the idea that some of you have walked away from some kind of help or assistance. Some of you are continuing on doing the same old thing. And you are so caught up in whatever it is that you are caught up in that you have literally missed the opportunity to go inside, receive some help and some assistance. Maybe for some of you, this is your finances have been tight and you needed money and somebody offered you the money, but you decided to not do that, to continue on in the same way. But this can be the card of being so caught up in whatever your troubles are that you literally are walking by a blessing, so to speak. And the reason why I say that there's a church window. Okay? You don't have to be a religious person to understand the concept of blessings. Let's put the rest of the cards down. And this is leading you into, because of the position of the card, this is where we're going to be starting the month of September for some of you. Not all of you, for some of you. Wow, there's a 10 of Wands. Whatever this thing is, it's really, it's been weighing you down, and you've just been trying to put one foot in front of the other. I don't know if some of you wanted to buy a house, or maybe you needed to move. Maybe you were turned down. Maybe you went for assistance and you were turned down for it. This might be some kind of loan or financial. But yet, to me, the 5 of Pentacles says that you still didn't do what you were supposed to. Okay? I think that there was another way for you to accomplish this. But being turned down or being turned away or walking by, you've walked by something. Really. The Lovers. Some kind of choice. All of this is, I think, becoming apparent to you under this Mercury retrograde. It's the twins, the duality of the situation. The choice. Cooperate or don't. Maybe this is the idea that whatever help was offered came attached with something that you weren't comfortable with. 6 of Swords, 2 sixes, 7 of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, 3 of Swords, wow, 4 of Pentacles. Right. Wow. Wow. 2 sixes speak to justifiable faith and trust in your partner for some of you. I think the other 2 sixes is the idea of there's some kind of insecurity or inequality issue involved here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 coins. This is the based upon not only finances but value, self-value, self-worth, putting a price tag on something. This 10 tells me that this was the situation is changing. It is changing. But you're going to come to a place at some point where you're going to have to seriously make a decision here of what to do. Do I choose head or do I choose heart? I feel that some of you, I just get the sense that some of you, it was a relationship that, and it came to an abrupt end where literally like somebody threw you out. They threw you out of the house. You know, they just kicked you out till you get the fuck out. Excuse my language. And perhaps you said to them, you know, where am I supposed to go? And they were like, I don't care. Here. And they just take you somewhere. And they, you know, they just move you out. Definitely there was argument here. We go from, well, from the 6 to the 3 is another 3. So it's 3 swords. Anger and bitterness and betrayal and sorrow. And I'm confused. What do I want? What do I do? How do I get that? What's underneath the deck? Oh, well, look at that. I think this was triggered for some of you by the eclipse. I think that was July 26th, if I'm not mistaken. For some of you, I think you did accept this offer, but it has been nothing but a pain in the butt for you since then. Casting your lot in with someone else. But I think that's because you had no clarity for yourself what it is you were. You know, if you're acting out of the need, just a plain physical security needs kind of situation, then you know you can find yourself in a real bind. Suddenly, whatever the help comes with a cost that perhaps you were not prepared or were completely unaware of what it was going to cost you. Remember, we're talking about value. Because here the Four of Pentacles is speaking about hanging on and conserving those things that you already have and not investing anything in any future ventures. And this is not just about financial investments. It's time, emotion, energy. Do I have all the time to do all that crap? You know, what is it going to cost me to do this thing? I feel that this Knight of Pentacles says to me that some offer, for some of you, there's an offer coming after this. And it's going to, because sometimes the Three of Swords can be the idea of the silver lining. You know, yes, this is a painful situation. Yes, it was screwed up, but there is a silver lining in this. Sometimes we have to go through pain and loss and betrayal in order to shore ourselves up to keep moving, to keep doing whatever it was that we need to do. But again, we lose another 2 Pentacles. So this is definitely some kind of partnerships here. Something that we lose through partnership, or something that we actually, whether or not we invested our money or we invested our time and our energy and or emotions, there's something, it's a reciprocal kind of thing. So what I'm saying is that whatever has been offered to you, there's a cost. And if you've offered something to somebody and they accept it, there is a cost. It's a symbiotic kind of a thing. And I think that's why there's no clarity. Nobody understands what the hell's happening. But then suddenly, whatever choice that we need to make, it has been a long time in coming. It is the proper and correct thing to do. It speaks to planning, research, and just going, you know, shit is not exactly as I want it to be, but I can do this. This could be about working 2 jobs. This could be just trying to keep everything going at one time. We see those ships being all at sea, being tossed about. This card, really, one of the interpretations is play. So this could be the idea of just going out and kind of tossing things around, but enjoy doing it. It also speaks to adaptation, okay? Trying to adapt to the situation and the circumstances, even if we don't know what the hell's going on and where it's going to lead us. I feel for some of you, those of you who have not just been kicked out brutally, you are leaving because there's something new coming. From the 7 to the 8 is a cup, 1 cup. And that's 6 pentacles. That's 5 pentacles, a negative change. That's 3 pentacles, and then 3 pentacles. So ultimately, whatever you have lost or you have wasted your time, so to speak, and your emotion and your energies you've invested in, it's not necessarily that it was a total waste of time or a complete loss, because I think it gave you a clarity on head or heart. Does that make any sense? It's some kind of responsibility, kind of something that you've been doing and bearing and trying to just, for some of you, this could be a work issue. This could be a property issue. I feel that it's all of these things. Let's take a look. This whole row over here is just ugly. It's just an ugly. You know, But the thing about the 7 of Cups is that if you can ground yourself and focus, you can get, you know, it may take you a while to get there, but you can get what you want. You're just going to have to become very, very clear about it. You're going to have to cut the shit, the loads, the stuff that no longer belongs to you. You can get what you want. But I think that some of you are torn by that. What do I get rid of? What do I, or, you know, the situation is so bad, I don't even know what to think. That's 7 of Cups. That's either a fantasy or a dream, or it's a nightmare. Right? And how do you come to grips with the fantasy or a dream or a nightmare? You recognize that it's a fantasy, a dream, and or a nightmare. And then you focus your attention on what it is you're trying to do. I just don't think some of you you're in a space where you don't know. I'm going to look at this whole row. I'm going to actually, what I want to do is lay a set of cards on this and then a set of cards on these 2 together. So here we go. Disgrazia, pensiero, fedeltà. Either accepting help from somebody or not accepting help from somebody, and there's been a mistake. And help is not just in the it's the actual doing of something. I think whatever this thing is, there's an implication that it completely broke down. Totally broke down. Someone is looking at that. We have this idea of fidelity, and I'm getting that it sort of reads like you think that this is it feels as though it's something that's been going on for a long time. The loyalty, the faithfulness, the companion is something you've been hanging on to for a long, long time. Okay, let's look at this 6 and this 3 together. 6 of Swords. It could be the idea that this is a long-term relationship that finally has just run out a damn road. That happens sometimes. It really does. But it also has this energy of abruptness, as though maybe somebody came in and said, I don't love you anymore and I don't want to be with you and I want to get a divorce, and they leave. Or they tell you to get out, right? It has that energy to it. And if that has occurred, I'm really sorry. Amore. Bambino. Letter, the discovery. Yes. Somebody has said, I don't want to be with you anymore. Get out. And if they didn't physically throw you out of their living space, they want you out of their life. And that's what they've said to you. That's the discovery. You find out about, I think, the way the person really feels. It came like an outburst. I think that's that sense of urgency that I keep feeling. Let's look at, I want to look at this 7 of Cups, and then I'm going to look at these 2 cards together. Okay? And sometimes this card is about the third choice. There's a lot of times we think we have no options, or we only have 2 options, when really there's a third option that maybe hasn't become clear to you yet. How to fix this situation. Y'all know it's always more than one way to skin a cat. Speranza. Domestico. Melancholia. The hope that this somehow is going to be fixed, and finally the realization that it can't be fixed. Or the hope that the person's going to offer you some kind of assistance, and then the realization that they're not going to. And you are kind of, I don't think it's at a loss in terms of, I think you understand and you recognize on the one hand what it means that the person is not offering you any assistance or helping you in any way. But yet the situation itself is confusing. That's what I'm getting. And very sad for some of you. And I can, I've been there and done that. I'm a little bit more tough than that though. Like, fuck it, okay, whatever. That's me. So, later. But not everybody's like me, you know what I mean? I have a Aquarius on the 1st house. That's a lot of Uranian energy, and I will just take off, Myself, I can change direction very quickly. Look, the precious presence, a gift not unselfish. The Belvedere, great foresight and planning. And the Alegria. Now, for some of you, this could be the idea that where you're going to be able to at least gain a bit of control over this situation. I mean, there's only one major arcana card, right? Is to travel back to where you come from. Family and friends. Your answer is going to be found with family and friends in some way, shape, or form. I don't know what that is for you. Let me look at this 8 of Cups. And then I'm going to pull an angel answer card for you. So please start formulating your question. There's definitely some kind of, as if everything that you have done, your roads, your options have been blocked, right? That's really what it reads like. But it's because I think you are focusing your efforts and your energy in the wrong place. You need to do something, do something different. See, if you look, these people are all going in that direction. Even this damn, everybody's headed that way. But yet, in the Sibilas, almost everybody's looking back to the past. I think for some of you, this is a moment to get the value of whatever experiences, whatever pain, loss, heartache, whatever it is. Gain the value of that experience and then let that shit go. 8 of Cups. Giovani Fanciulla, Denari, and the desperate jealousy. Now, that is a weird combination. And I do feel this is the idea that for some of you, I think it comes down to the idea of self-worth and self-value as it relates to your finances. And some of you are having difficulty walking away from those old ways of feeling, of being. That 8 of Cups is the only eclipsed moon in the deck. We just had our last eclipse for 2018 on July 26th. It occurred, I think, in the sign of Leo, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, y'all website members, go back and read about it. But eclipses are game changers. That's what I keep telling you guys. Nobody really knows how it's going to change your life, but it's a game changer. Okay? Let's formulate your question for the angel answer. Ooh, spirits are on me. I am burning hot. I'm pouring sweat. Whew. Okay. Alright, it's the channeling. So, one card. And this is how we're going to start September 2018, some of you. And that is the energy. We have to leave some things behind. That's Saturn. I think it's Saturn in Pisces. I'm not exactly sure. I believe it is. And having the discipline and the strength to leave some things behind. Okay? Because they no longer serve you. A year from now. Huh. The spirits. Okay. The event you are asking about will occur within this year or soon after. During this time interval, you're encouraged to stay optimistic and to continue with self-care activities and other preparations for your desire. Remember that other people's free will choices are involved. That's, to me, that Lover's card. Your angels are presently working behind the scenes on your behalf, even if you can't immediately see the evidence of your answered prayers. To me, that's that 8 of Cups. You are walking, or you feel as though you are walking in the dark. It's like a dark night of the soul, and you're just kind of out there wandering in the wilderness. Focus that. You're not alone. And whatever you're going through, somebody else has gone through it before, because there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing. As long as there have been humans, there's been love, there's been betrayal, there's been loss, there's been theft, there's been joy, there's been happiness, joining, death, birth. None of these things are new. So you, first of all, you are not alone. It doesn't matter what your religious beliefs or non-beliefs are. You do not walk alone. There is always either divine, if you want to say God, great. If not, there is the energy, the source energy from the universe that is there to sustain you. And so you just need to focus whatever it is that you're doing and determine where do you want to go and what is most important to you. Okay? And leave whatever you need to leave behind. That can be very scary, because it's the fear of the unknown. But you know what? You don't know what you don't know. And that's all you know. All right? So, I hope those messages helped. I think it's going to be a very interesting September 2018. So, I don't know if that just popped out of my mouth. So, maybe that year is pivotal for that. Maybe this is a situation that started back in 2016. And so, that's what I have for you. I hope those messages helped. And I'll see you again soon. Namaste.